Tessa Dooms on Power 98.7, 6 to 9 a.m.
The time is 6:54. You're on Power Breakfast this morning with Tessa Dooms. You can share your thoughts as well on that conversation around the regulation around podcasts. Where are we drawing the line, and how do we then hold those people who take to the mic accountable for how they use that space and that time? Of course, many other stories that are evolving over the course of the last 24 hours. It's been a hot news cycle. But one of them is Pieter-Louis Myburgh, a Daily Maverick journalist who put out a video, quite a damning video it would seem, where he alleges that a CEO, the CEO, now suspended CEO of the IDT, Tebogo Malaka, had actually, with her spokesperson, offered him a bribe of 60,000 rand in the light of day to stop or to quash investigations into wrongdoing at the IDT and some of her personal issues. Peter, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Welcome to Power Breakfast.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, how did we get to that moment? We've all now seen that moment a million times over in 3D, different camera angles, very well executed just in terms of giving us that story. But give us the background about how you get into that table.
Yeah, so just in short, we were sort of expecting that this would transpire, which of course was why we had everything in place. And that is just because of the foregoing events in the preceding months. I've been working on an investigation, one that will be published soon, involving Ms. Malaka and another IDT contract. And while I was in the midst of investigating this issue, I was contacted by the spokesperson, Pasha Makulane, who asked me to arrange a meeting or for the two of us to sit down. But then crucially, meeting, and this would be in preparation for another meeting with the IDT CEO at a later point.
Sure.
And during all of these interactions, there were a lot of references to things like mutual interests and very sensitive
converging
issues.
Interests.
Exactly. We should arouse my suspicions and caused for me to brief my editors, and we engaged with our lawyers and decided that it feels like clearly this is the route that it's going into, and if this is the case, then we might document this to make this part of our reporting on an important public interest issue, which is the conduct of somebody in such an important and responsible position.
And how long had you been following this story coming out of the IDT, especially related to the CEO? I know this is about the oxygen plant scandal, but also some of this is related to properties of hers that she can't really account for. What has been the lifespan of that reporting?
Yeah, so I published the oxygen plant scandal in October last year, but then quite soon after that, I was alerted to the fact that there are some other issues that should look into involving the IDT, which frequently happens. We publish a story and then some more information comes in. So I would say I started looking in earnest at that property deal in December last year. So it is an investigation that is, several months in the making. It's a very complex issue, and we will publish the result of this investigation on Monday.
All right, so there's more details to come on Monday about the full investigation that this deal was meant to stop you from publishing, it would seem. There have been on social media some screenshots, or at least purported screenshots, from an account of yours on X in about January this year, talking about a bribe from the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure to actually investigate or to stop investigations into IDT. Do you know about that, and can you give any clarity or verification on that?
Yes, I've seen it. It's obviously disinformation, and we've already dealt with it. It's just being rehashed now to once again detract attention from the main issue at hand. As I'd already pointed out, I'm not going to deal with it on that space on Twitter, but the fabricators of those WhatsApp, not only is it fake, they did a terrible job at doing it. In WhatsApp, the person who writes the message, if it's from my screenshot, is supposed to be in green. The person you're talking with, their conversation is in white. What the fabricators did was they forgot about that detail and they switched it around. And this is quite clear for anybody to see. I'm supposedly having a conversation, and it's my screen grab, but on their version, my messages are in white.
Sure.
And it does not, those are fake screen grabs. It's not from my cell phone.
And the X message as well?
Which X messages?
Oh, so there's an X message as well that I've just seen floating around that also speaks about that same allegation of the minister actually being the one who is doing the bribing.
Well, I've only seen the WhatsApp.
Okay.
I know a lot of it is being circulated on X, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen X messages. But look,
Because
anything is possible. I'm sure
Yeah.
they've probably drawn up a whole body of fabricated material to counter this. But it's like ultimately, at the end of the day, the stronger evidence prevails. So we are increasingly going to just ignore these kind of things that come up, actually.
Has there been any follow through in terms of this video now coming through? Are you going to be laying criminal charges? Whose responsibility might that be, and is that going to happen as the next step here?
Yeah, so we are still discussing that, but I think the most kind of pertinent development now is the minister will address the media at the police station in Cape Town today. So I'm sure the location isn't just random.
Might be giving a bit of a hint as to what he might be doing today.
Exactly, yeah. So I think that'll be very closely followed.
Yeah.
But from our side, yeah, we kind of just focusing on getting this investigation into the property out for next week. Yeah.
Yeah, no, dramatic scenes from investigative journalism there. The long haul, you guys always walk the long haul, and so moments of that like that must be quite rewarding, where your intuition pays off in a moment like that. But we look forward to seeing the story develop on Monday, as you say, where we'll get the full details on the oxygen plant scandal and, of course, the property scandal as well there with Tebogo Malaka. But thank you so much, Pieter-Louis Myburgh, for joining us this morning, the journalist in that video that we see circulating, very, very graphic video, or just graphic image of daylight robbery, literal daylight robbery. But we'll chat more about that after the news.